If you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it twice. I believe that sales is one of the most important careers out there, and it's one of the most important jobs in any company. Think about it in so many different ways, right? Now, why is sales so darn important? Well, on today's episode, we're going to tell you exactly that, and we're going to tell you how you can consistently, probably say, how you can always generate the money you need from sales if you follow these principles from my great guests. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist Podcast here on TSC TV on YouTube. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode, we have a great guest coming on, Francois Lupien. Francois, he's let's just keep it very simple and straight to the point. Dude knows what he's talking about. We had a great conversation. He's worked with some of the brightest minds in the business world and help coach them and help guide them. And on today's conversation, we're going to tackle and also share some of those different insights, things that he's learned about why sales is so critical, especially for you. If this is your time, this is you landing your first sales job. You need to understand this. And then also understanding how to consistently, how you can always generate sales, how you can always make money, how you can always be productive and be successful in this role. Now, let's face it, you're here because, yes, you want to help people. In a way, you want to generate money. And if you can do both, then you're in really good practice, right? So we're going to break that down. We're going to share you some insights on that. Now, as we get ready to dive into this episode, if this is your first time listening to one of our podcasts or watching our video, we ask you to go ahead and subscribe. If you're on Apple Podcasts, hit the subscription button. If you're listening to this watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and hit subscribe. That would we'd just love it. We greatly appreciate it. It would go a long way. Anyways, as we dive into the conversation today, you're going to hear some tactics, some strategies, some ideas. We want you to take these and apply them. It's fun. This stuff is good, and it can make a difference for you. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Francois, welcome to the show today. It's a pleasure to have you.
Hey, Donald. A pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
So as I mentioned in the teaser, I'm going to give a big shout out to one of our teammates, Josh Harris. He's a big fan of yours. So I told him to go and connect with you on LinkedIn. So hopefully you get a chance to connect with Josh, and he could say, that he knows Francois now. So Francois.
All right. Hey, Josh. How are you? Good to have you.
So Francois, we're going to talk today about, this is going for our folks who, first time going in sales. They're landing their first sales job. We want to talk to them and just help them understand why are sales so important and how do we do it right every single time. And in my experience working with a lot of new sellers, and also my experience when I first went into the sales arena, I didn't have the guidance and I was winging it, and I got the wing it result. So they weren't too good. We want to get from you today, maybe give us maybe the top 3 things that they need to know when it comes towards why sales is so important and how to do it right. Is that okay if we were to do that?
That is absolutely fine. Thank you so much.
Well, let's tackle the first part. And why is sales so important? Why are sales so important? Help me or help our audience understand that component from your personal passion behind it.
Maybe before that, I will say to all the listeners, congratulations. You've just embarked in the best profession in the world, and if you do it right, the highest paid profession in the world. That's number 1. Number 2, or to come back to your number 1, why? Why sales? If you think about this, nothing happens until a sale is made. It doesn't matter what field that you're in, unless a sale comes into the pipeline, there's no need for a business. There's no need to produce either a digital or a tangible product or a service that's being given. Sales is the fuel that makes the car go. If you have a Lamborghini and there's no fuel in it, even if you have a key and you want to start it, you're going nowhere. Sales is definitely the fuel of any organization and for the world, basically. That sale is that important. Does that make sense?
Oh, it sure does. And I think there's, many people, we go into companies, and I don't say it in the sense of being like, to be trite or just to say it because it's my wheelhouse. It's a place that I play with. But I do believe, like you're saying, like sales is probably one of, if not the most important department in an organization, because like you've just outlined, no one absolutely no one, even from the CEO, doesn't get paid until that happens. And yes, you might get venture back money, but that's okay. But venture back money has a string attached to it, and if you don't produce, they want to your head's on the table, or
Absolutely.
there's something that's there. So sales is a thing that will push them away, push the sharks away when you can bring money into the organization. So helping understanding this, why it's so important, in helping individual can understand that. Let's go back into the role a little bit deeper. You kind of alluded to this, Francois, where you talked about the critical component of the sales role, and obviously we talked about why sales in general is interested and is important. Let's talk about even deeper why that sales professional role, their component, may be important. I mean, I got my first sales job. I graduated, and this was an entry level into a company, so I figured I'd go into it. But let's talk a little bit more deeper on that role. Would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and if the answer is not going exactly where you want, correct me, because I stand to be corrected, and it's okay. We're all growing, and that is absolutely awesome. And so that's a tip for everybody. Be yourself. Don't be afraid, and ask questions when you're unsure. But as far as the role of a salesperson, to me, it is not only pivotal for the organization, but in your life, the role that you have is that there is a need for what you sell, and then there is the product that responds to that need. And in order to solve the problem of the client, you are the most important cog in the wheel. The most important, because there could be many problems that are out there and great solutions, but until the problem and the solutions are met together to solve someone's life, a corporation's life, then nothing happens. And the role of the salesperson is to make sure that, I'm going to go maybe a little tangent, that you understand what it is first that you represent and that you're selling. What is it exactly? Do your homework. Find out. Ask questions. And make sure that you know it inside out. Don't let that stop you from taking action. The second thing of your role is to be like Sherlock Holmes, if I may use that term. You need to be inquisitive. Be curious. Whenever you step into the sales role, no longer think about yourself. Focus 100% on the person in front of you, and try and find out what it is that makes them tick, what it is that they want, what are their problems. Get genuinely interested in them. That is your first role. Show that you care. And the best way to do this is by asking questions. I'm going to all make you laugh. I got a big bookshelf, 250 books here, 450 in the other one. And I have this book here. Do you see it? Do you see the title of this?
Questions are the answer.
Okay, I found this when I was in an airport traveling to do some speeches, and I said, wow, this is great, and it triggered something in my mind, and I said, this is great. I started reading the book, and then I stopped reading the book. You're going to say, why is that? Because the idea that I had on what that title had was going right while the book was going left. I didn't want to go left. I wanted to go right. And this, for the past 18 years, has been a channeling force into being successful in sales. Questions are the answer. If the answer you're getting from your client, the role that you're playing to find out these answers, if they're not what you want, you need to change the questions that you ask. As you change the questions that you ask, the answers will change. So get to ask questions that are in harmony with, tip here, the results that you want. In harmony with what they want. That's how you can merge what they need with what you have. Does that make sense as far as a role?
It does, and there's nothing like a good example. So I'm putting Francois on the spot here, guys. We have not talked about this. We didn't practice it. So let's pretend now I'm a client. How would we go about implementing that idea? Like maybe shape it up for us. What would be an outcome that you would want in your role when you're selling?
Well, my first outcome is to find out what it is that the person wants, and if they really want it, and to make sure that they know that they really want it. Why am I saying this?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you embark in the sales and you assume you will fail, Mark these
Ooh.
big words, FAI, you will fail. You can never assume what people want. Therefore, if you ask questions, you will find out what they want. And then you're going to come to a crossroad. And that crossroad is important. Either you're able to fulfill their needs with what you're selling, or you can't. If you can't, you have two choices. You stop the conversation, or you tell them, I will help you find a solution to this.
Hmm.
And outside of whatever expertise you have, you point them into the other direction. I am telling you, I am 60 years old. I've done millions of dollars in sales. The last part is the best way to go. Serve the people. They will be impressed by you, and they will give you referrals until you don't know what to do with them. Does that make sense, Donald?
It does. So I mean, overall, like if I understand, and again can throw you for a loop here with this. If you, what's one of those? Would you be willing to role play that for me?
Absolutely.
Where, so I'm your prospect, and then let's say you want to get me to that outcome to find out what I really want. That's so now we're
Okay.
going to help to ask that question. You're going to ask those questions now that are effective to get to that point. So maybe that outcome,
Okay.
that something that I really want is, well, I guess what's something your clients typically really want?
Well, actually, that's I was gonna say. Let's make it even harder.
Oh,
You
okay,
decide. You
okay,
decide who you are, and I
okay,
find out who you are. And the premise is that you decided to have a call on me because there's something that you want in your
okay.
profession that you don't have now. Make sense?
Let's do it. Here we go, gang.
All
This
right.
is fun. All right.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, Donald, Francois here. How are you?
Oh, Francois, thank you so much, man, for talking to me. I appreciate you setting up this time.
Perfect. Donald, may I ask, what is it that triggered your interest in booking a call with me today?
Right now, Francois, I as a you know young business owner, we just went into business about a year ago, and we are not seeing the results that we want. We have a sales team, we have a marketing team, and but we're just not seeing the results that we would like to see, and want to see if you can help us on that.
Absolutely. And what's the industry that you're in?
Right now, we're in the manufacturing space, so we manufacture windows.
Perfect. All right. Windows. Excellent. So you've been in business for a year and your expectations are not met right now. By the way, is it okay if I take some notes? I always like to take some notes so that I can reflect back to you what it is that we talked about. Does that make sense, Donald?
Yeah, 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 totally. As long as you're not playing tic tac toe, I'm fine.
No, I'm not. Actually, I'll show you that I'm not. So, so you're business owner, manufacturing and sales of windows. A year ago, you have a sales team, marketing team, and the results are not what you want.
Yeah,
What are the results that you were hoping to get? What are they?
we're we're hoping to hit $1 million in revenue last year, and over last year we came in shy about $450,000 total revenue.
Wow, actually, first of all, congratulations. First year doing six $550,000 of revenue your first year is absolutely awesome. That is great. Congratulations. Now,
Thank you.
say that you came short, sorry, of your goal.
Hmm.
Why do you think that you came short of that goal? What is it in the expectations that you have that the materialization of which is not happening right now? What is it that you see?
You know, I just our we're getting conversations. We are, our team, they're great. The guy that I hired for our sales, I've been in the industry for 20 years. The guy that I hired, he worked with me in the last company. He's been in industry for 10 years, so he knows how to sell. I know how to sell as well. I think it's just uh, we're just not getting enough at bats with what we're doing. Not getting in front of enough people, and I think it could be. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not doing as much prospecting as I need to because I'm doing so many other things within the business. And I think this guy as well. 10 years. He's not. Last company, he was getting a lot of inbound leads. We, both got that, but then now it's kind of not getting a ton of that. My marketing folks are working. Our SEO is improving. We probably get a handful of leads per week, and the rest is just like doing the cold outreach. So that's where I think the issue is at.
Okay, that sounds good. So therefore, if in a nutshell of what you told me, everybody is sort of doing, you have 20 years experience, the other person has 10 years experience, so you're not beginners, and
Hmm.
yet the results are not. And you said something that, Donald, is very common in an industry where they're not getting the results that they want. And you said, and you cringed a little bit when you said that, says, maybe we're not doing enough prospecting.
Mm.
You're hitting the nail right on the head when you say that. And let me illustrate something, and you tell me if you relate with this. You
Okay.
start the company, you're excited, everybody is going, and you're going like really good. And then you start with the activity to start to generate some appointments. And then with those appointments, now you start to go into the management mode of taking care of those clients. And you say, oh, I have to take care of them really good. And as you do this, you stop doing the prospecting that you were doing in the beginning that propelled you to the level of taking care of your people. This is so common, Donald, and tell me if
Yeah.
that's the case with you. You start, it starts to grow, and now you do less of the prospecting because, hey man, I'm busy. I have to take care of my people, and all sorts of rationalization are coming into your mind. If I don't take care of my clients, they're going to go somewhere else. And you're justifying the fact that, let's face it, prospecting is a skill that is developed. It's a muscle that is done. And like going to the gym, sometimes we don't want to go to the gym. But the
Mm.
more we go to the gym, the stronger we get. And if we go consistently to the gym, we're going to get consistent growth. If we do consistent prospecting, we're going to have the pipeline that is full all the time. And then we're going to make our business grow. Does that sound like what seems to be going on in your company?
It's like you're peeking through the windows. No pun intended.
Oh, wonderful. I can help you with that. It is very common with all the clients that I deal with. They start an up roll and then they plateau very rapidly.
Yeah.
If I could show you a way, Donald, that I can stop that plateau and enable you to have the strategies in place that will keep your pipeline full all the time, will you work with me?
Of course. Yeah. If you could solve it and it makes sense, yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Absolutely. So I don't know where else you want to go with this
No, this is
because
great.
I got you.
Well, I think the critical piece to go back to what you explained, you know where you want to go and where the client needs to go, which I think in this case for me was I needed to solve the problem of figuring out why I have this leaky bucket, so to speak, and then also being able to you would like to figure out if I'm a fit for you and if you could actually work with me. And I think those components all came together, and then therefore it came down into questions. I noticed you asked a lot of why questions, as opposed to the what or the how. You know, how you've been doing this for the past years. You know, you didn't even get into any of that stuff. But I think the critical piece you went into those how. Am I off on that? Is
No, but one of the reasons why I did not go to the what is because you came with authority at first, saying I've been 20 years in the business,
mm-hmm.
and the person I hired is 10 years. He can sell. He can sell. I'm not questioning that.
Yeah,
Because you came with these things, then I did not want to argue that with you. You brought that information to me. So that's why active listening is so important. I've taken some notes. I
yeah,
know that these things are in place for you. So therefore, that's not where the challenge is. Let's find out what the challenge is. And you told me. And I don't know if you noticed, but I made you tell me. I
yeah,
did not tell you. And then I asked something that might help the people that are new at this. Once you have an idea of what's going on, you can say the following. I've seen this before, and this is what happened. Tell me if it's the same with you.
yeah,
And then I start to go with a scenario. And guess what? That scenario that I'm doing, this is deep. This is like not even beginner stuff. This is amazing. As I'm doing this, what I'm doing is I'm helping to find out by the questions that I ask, leading you to the solution I can offer you. I'm
yeah,
not going all over the place. I'm asking you things that I know will lead you to the desire of me helping you solve this problem. That's why everybody write down this question. Wonderful. I can help you with that. It's
yeah.
very common with the people that I deal with. And then you say, if I can show you how to, and then solve that problem, would you work with me?
Mm.
I can guarantee you that if you do your homework properly and you listen to them, 100% of the people will say yes.
That's amazing. Love that. Francois, my
If
goodness,
you're
you're
a
bringing.
sales evangelist, you want it to happen. So we got to make it happen. But all this, if I may, because you're
Yeah.
new,
Yeah.
not you, but the people that are
Speaking and
listening,
listening.
because
Yep.
you're new, you might have let's be polite, a greed aspect to sales. Oh man, I didn't know to go to university for gazillion years and I can make some big money. And so if you own, at first, it's okay and you need to, but you have to get off that horse ASAP. Once you get in sales, if you're in sales for the money, it's not going to happen. You have to be in sales to serve and to solve. In sales to serve and to solve. Serve the person and solve their problem. If you do that, you will never have to worry about money. Ever. Ever.
I love that. Never have to worry about money. You go into sales to solve problems and to serve your client, serve your prospect. With all of this, Francois, is this what we need to do in order to continue to have success over and over and over in sales?
Actually, I'm giving you stuff that I have clients that pay me a lot of money. Check this
See,
out.
guys? See? You need to listen to this on recording. You need to connect with Francois.
No, and this is something that I tell you now, and so this is what's going to happen. It's going to come in here, and it might come out of there real fast. That's why through repetition, you get assimilation. But what I want to tell you is a tip that is outstanding, and it is as follows. Whenever you are with a prospective person that you know you can help, and then you come to the dreaded time of he asks how much, and you say the price, and they start to quiver, because they will, and it's normal. It is normal. Don't take that as it is a normal human being behavior because something's about to change and change is uncomfortable. Embrace it. But this is the tip of tips. You never ask to close or make the person join or do whatever it is that you do when they're in that stressful environment. If it's, and I'll explain with this. Once you've told them the price, and they quiver a little bit, then right away you go back to the following. So tell me, Donald, when you will have that prospecting portion down path to the tune that your pipeline is filled all the time and that you're hitting and even surpassing your objectives, how will that feel? And now I'm waiting for you to answer. Once you're in that quote unquote high, then I tell you, so are you up for doing this? Or whatever words that you want. You always ask for the order when the people are high, not when they're low. If you tell them a price and they go, oh, like this, and say, you want to do it? No. But if you bring them back up to future pacing of the results that you'll provide them with, and they're like, yes, they're in a yes mentality now, and now they're seeing the good thing. Says, well, are you up for doing this? Yeah, sure, let's make it happen. Bingo.
Love it. Oh, Francois, money in the bank. This is awesome.
Indeed. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
If there's one major takeaway from everything that we shared today, you want somebody to leave this conversation with, what's that one major piece of advice?
It's going to be interesting. I did some research recently. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. People that make $100,000 or less per year have 0 coaches or free coaches. People that make from $100,000 to $250,000 a year have 1 coach. People that make from $250,000 to $500,000 have 2 coaches. People that make from $500,000 to $1 million have 3 to 4 coaches. How many coaches have you got? I have 2 coaches, so you know how much money I make. But that's what it is. And then you ask people, oh, you can't have it. Listen to the people that have been there, done that. They're your best. I'm a national trainer for Tony Robbins. I was at his franchise in Ottawa and been at his events, facilitating his events. The guy is absolutely amazing. And he said, success leaves clues. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Follow someone that has done something that works emulate it, embrace it, learn of it, get infused with it again and again. Practice, 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 and then it'll come. Maybe a last thing. What's his name? I can't. He says garage. Nice guy. Sam Ovens. So this is a reality check for all of you. People that make $100,000 plus in their first year are people that did 1,000 presentations. Do not get discouraged if you don't get the big bucks until you've paid the price. You have to pay the price. But once you pay the price, it's a nice ride, baby.
Hey, magic starts happening. Francois, if folks out there want to get connected with you, how do they go about doing so?
Well, on LinkedIn, Francois Lupien, but also I have a website which is pretty easy. It's called howtobecomemore.com. Howtobecomemore.com. And you're going to find out about me. There's a lot of things in there. And there's also a link that you can book a call with me because of the following. It's a free call. Why is it a free call? Listen, I'm practicing what I'm preaching. What I want to find out is, do you really want something? And if you do want something, I'm going to help you uncover the hidden challenges that are stopping you from doing it. And then I'll give you solutions. Then you decide if you implement them on your own, which is fine, or implement it with me, which is faster. But either way, you finish the call by having some more ammunition for you. You can start taking off faster than just putting around on the takeoff lane. You just put the gas in, you make it happen. It's up to you. It's either time or money, and you decide.
Francois, thank you so much for coming on the show today, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for your wisdom.
Hey, Donald, it's a pleasure. And one thing I love is giving back. And you've given me this opportunity. And I thank you so much. And I praise you for being the sales evangelist, because that's what makes the world go round.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank
Congrats
you.
on all you're doing.
Yeah.
Listen, that was Francois, and I want you to go ahead and connect with him. You can find all the details in the show notes. If you're watching this on YouTube, just scroll down to the description. You can find the details there. If you're watching or listening to this, I should say, on Apple Podcasts, just click on the cover art and scroll down. You'll get a chance to see all the details that we have down below. We want you to connect with Francois. We want you to be able to learn from him as much as you can. We want you to thrive and succeed. Our goal here is to help you to be the best sales professional that you could possibly be. We want you to find more of those ideal customers. This is why we recommend our sponsors. I mean, they're giving away tools and giving you access to things that can help you to make sure that happens. We want you to be able to really thrive in your role as a seller. We want you to be able to know what to say when you reach out to these folks so you can close the deal. And naturally, as always, we want you to go out each and every single day. Push yourself, think bigger, and do big things. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up at the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.